Hello everyone. I'm Paula Omokomian from set 019. I was a head girl during that set, and I'm so happy to meet all of you this way. I'm sorry I couldn't make it in person. Um Mr. Adeomi contacted me, and we're putting this together for you, for your betterment. To know what's going on in my life right now. After I left Faith Academy, I spent a year at home. I spent the whole 2020 at home, and then I got into with a full scholarship to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill in the United States. And I'll be graduating in 2 weeks with a Bachelor of Science degree in Public Health, Nutrition, and Sociology. And I also have a minor in creative writing. I'll be going on to the University of California at Riverside for my master's in public policy. I'll be starting that in September. I'm currently really interested in education policy and how that affects juvenile incarceration and bullying. So, if any of you are interested in knowing more about like my path, about nutrition, sociology, writing, or you just want to chat with me, I would leave my Instagram with Mr. Adeomi, and you can always reach out to me there. I've heard from some of you. Very amazing stuff. Um, First of all, talking about exams, about the legacy of succeeding without having to resort to cheating. I believe that the first thing I'm going to tell all of you is to believe in yourself, you know, to trust yourself, because I feel that people who resort to cheating in exams don't have that self confidence. And one thing I've noticed about myself is that I am my best fan. Like, the rate at which I believe in myself, my self confidence is really high. So, first, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to trust yourself. Every one of you has something amazing about them, something awesome about them. I have always lived my life believing that Paula, there is something awesome about me. Like, I'm not going to be mediocre. You have to first believe in yourself to even understand what next I'm going to tell you. Um, Second, my viewpoints towards cheating. I know you've heard so many things, the same thing I've heard. Cheating is morally wrong, it's against the word of God. But aside that, I also want to say that cheating takes away from you mentally. That's how I feel about cheating. I feel like anything I do, I have to make sure I put my 100% in it the right way, because then whatever result I get, I feel fulfilled. You know, that's just the mentality I have towards cheating. I feel like cheating robs you of the opportunity to do your best. I feel like cheating robs you of the opportunity to fully enjoy the rewards you get, to fully reap your success. So you're shortchanging yourself in that way, because when you cheat, you're not able to develop the skills. You're not able to actually understand the knowledge you're meant to understand. Exams are standardized. They're meant to test your knowledge. They're meant to test your understanding of the subject matter. And if you cheat, you are not only losing out on the process of working towards something for yourself, but you're also robbing yourself of the opportunity to actually know those things after the exam. Because we cannot approach exams as a be all. You cannot approach knowledge as only needed for exams. You have to approach knowledge as something you need for the future. I remember my first year here, I was taking a chemistry class, and the methods they were using were different from mine. I was using the methods I was taught in SS1, what I used in WAEC. And my professor was very impressed. He was like, he had never, in all his years of teaching, he had never seen such a method. I mean, if I had cheated my way throughout my chem exams, my chem WAEC, after the that was this was a whole this was 2 years after I graduated from Faith Academy. I want to be able to possess that knowledge and use it and get the praise and reward I got. The knowledge was mine, it wasn't anybody else, it was mine even after the exam. So cheating takes away from you mentally, and when you're a type of person who is so used to taking shortcuts in life, one day is going to shoot you in the foot, because you find out that in the real world you actually need to have substance. People who cheat end up not knowing anything, and then they cannot relate with others. They don't have that original knowledge to go far in life. So you're like an empty vessel, because to you all that knowledge was for was to write exams, and you need to see knowledge as something you should possess, not just write exams. Number 3, well, basically you have to read. You have to read. I mean, this is the hard part. I mean, so many people want to do well, as we all want to do, but don't want to read. You have to read. You have to know something. You have to do those past questions. At the very least, do those past questions. I know how many times I hated reading. I know it's shocking, but I didn't really enjoy reading. I didn't really enjoy reading. I guess for me, my approach to reading was knowing it. I enjoyed when I understood what I read. I mean, reading was hard, but if you approach reading with the idea of understanding it as your reward, as your desired outcome, you end up finding out that it's not as hard as you think it is. I enjoyed whenever I read something and I understood it, days after reading. That's my approach towards studying. Understanding is the final goal. And when you're reading, always take notes. I mean, even till now, I take notes. I have a note. I take notes. The idea of I'm reading, I'm not taking notes, I don't need to take notes, doesn't exist. I mean, if you don't have a tablet, which I'm sure you guys don't have, if you're not recording it on your phone, you need to take notes. And not only in the school environment, in life, taking notes is very important. Being able to take notes is a very good skill to have. You need to take notes so you can look back at it and read it all over again. In your own words. When you're reading, take notes in your own words. Don't just copy the textbook. Take notes in your own words. These are very good study strategies, especially when you're writing an exam like WAEC or NECO that are very standardized. These exams are the same thing every year. If you read the whole past questions, answer all those questions, you will find out you're going to do excellently well in the exam. Towards the past questions, take out the past question and solve it. And don't just rely on the answer guide. If you don't get that question, go to the textbook, go to your notes and find out how to solve it by yourself. That is the ultimate skill. That is something that really helped me do exceedingly well. And don't cram. Like I said, I mean, Unless maybe this is like 2 minutes to the exam, which is the worst time possible. You shouldn't be cramming. You should know, you should read and be confident. Like, I've never gone to an exam hall in my life feeling like I know nothing. I mean, I could feel like I'm unsure of some things, but I've never felt like I won't be able to answer anything because I possess that knowledge. It was something I knew. You couldn't take it away from me. I didn't cram it. I was not going to forget it even after the exam. So don't cram. You have to read. You have to work hard for everything you get. Whatever you read, make sure it makes sense to you. Whether it's force equals MA in physics, whether it's civil society and civic education, whether it's a theorem in maths, it has to make sense to you. That's the ultimate goal, for it to make sense to you. When you approach reading in such a way, you find that like you don't have to cheat. Cheating doesn't appeal to you. Cheating takes away from you. You have to gain the knowledge and use it for the future. Another tip, you should chill. Exams don't define you. I know you're in this environment. Even when I was at your level, there was this idea that this exam was the goal. But like once you really leave the walls of it academy, you find out how like the world works. Exam doesn't define you. Exams are just a way to gauge how good your memory is and how good you really understand it. Because most of these type of questions we answer in exams, you're going to need it for the future. Like if you want to be an engineer, you're going to need to know how to know physics. I mean, you can't cheat your way into being an engineer and be a successful one. You need to know it. So it's for your own good. Exams don't define you. They're just a way to mark how much you know of the subject matter. Still, even if you don't do as good as you think you should or as you want to do, they don't define you. The idea of cheating because you think this exam is the be all is it doesn't make sense to me, because the exams are just a way to check how good you are in it. And if you find out that you're lacking in it, you always have other chances to go back to the drawing board. And because I know the importance of WAEC is like a once in a year thing, I mean, it's not just something you can do multiple times, which is going back to my last point of reading. I'm the type of person who reads, and whatever I write in the exam, no matter the outcome, I look towards it like I've done my best, because I did. Because if at the end you don't do well and you did not do all you could before the exam, it's going to be a very bad feeling. And that's the reason why people cheat, because they don't actually prepare themselves enough for the exams that are just like standardized tests for them. The exams don't define you, so you should chill about the exams. Something I've learned as I've grown older is that like you can still have fun, and if you're reading and you feel tired, because you have to be in a good state of mind to understand what you're reading, to know what you're reading. If you feel tired, place the book aside and take a nap. Okay? You don't have to approach reading and studying like it's World War II or World War III. Chill. You just have to read to know it, write the exams, and be done with it. And because exams are standardized, so far use those past questions. Take it from me. Use those past questions. And anything you don't know in the past questions, check your notes, check the textbook. Once you can solve it, once you understand why it's done that way, you're good to go. By the time you finish all those past questions, let me say anything from 2010 till now, you're good to go for any exam. So you don't really need to cheat, you know. You don't really need to cheat. You need to know the subject matter. I need to show that you know the subject matter. That's just what exams are about. I have never actually believed in cheating. I mean, aside of the idea that it is wrong morally, it's also drawing me back, because then I wouldn't actually know anything if I just cheated my way all through the exams. So, um, yeah. Okay. I guess that's all I have. But just future advice. I know not everybody will have the opportunity as I had. So if you're schooling in Nigeria, whatever school you're checking, whatever school you're putting on your jam, look for things like cost and strike. I know people tend to downplay the importance of strikes at your level, but I'm telling you, you don't want to go to a school that holds you back in that way. So just look for those things. And shameless plug, I know the rave right now is being a doctor, because that was my plan to be a doctor, but now I'm doing public health. And I know maybe the environment doesn't encourage any other path of thought, but I'm just putting out there that public health is a very good career choice. You can do public health and you can work anywhere. You can work as a nurse, you can work in the hospital, you can work in the school, you can work anywhere, you know. And so many other African countries are becoming more aware. I know Nigeria is not there yet, but so many other countries need public health professionals. I know Futo, Babcock, and Bells University are currently the only ones that offer a good public health programs and nutrition programs. Mind you, this I'm getting a Bachelor of Science, so this is all like I'm taking all the science classes: chemistry, biology, anatomy, everything. Nutrition is a science too. So, shameless plug, because I really enjoyed my program. You know, I feel like you should discover more. Look out more. Check out public health, check out nutrition. If you ever want to talk about public health, nutrition, sociology, writing, creative writing, I took classes in creative writing and I also write. So I would like to like chat up with you if you write too. You know, maybe I could read your work, you read my work, or just ask me questions. You know, if you also have questions to ask about the process of schooling abroad, I am very open to as much as all of you that want to reach out to me. You know, it's not easy, but it's not impossible. So I'm really glad all of you are watching me. I hope you are able to understand all what I've told you. I hope you're able to take it to heart and follow it. Yeah. So I hope to also hear good things from all of you too. And I hope you also only keep hearing good things from me. Thank you all. It's so nice to talk to FAB Students all over again. Bye. Have a good day.